All right, now we're ready to prepare the documents. It says ready to prepare the documents. Are all the above fields filled in? We don't want to skip anything. The only thing that you can skip is the seller number 2 if there isn't a seller number 2. And if there's not a lawsuit, obviously that would be blank. If there's not a loan modification, obviously that would be blank. And then the seller information is empty. But everything else is filled in because everything else is going to go somewhere on the documents, or you're going to need to know the information in order to make a good decision on this property. All right, so we're going to go down here and we're going to create the docs, create seller docs, the letter of understanding, no contract because you're going to insert your own contract, and the authorization to release loan info. Or you can create the seller docs, which is the letter of understanding, the contract that we provide that you need to make sure that you understand what is in it, and we would suggest have your attorney look over it to make sure that you understand what you're promising in that contract, and the authorization to release loan information. So we're going to push the button and it's going to create the documents. All right, we have our documents that literally took just a few seconds, and we're going to go look at them and make sure they're all correct. This is the letter of understanding. This is the subject property. This is the seller. This is the purchaser. This is the estimated closing date, the sales price, the terms, and it goes over all the agreement that we've agreed upon if you filled everything out. And then there's a place for the seller to sign, and there's a place for the buyer to sign right there. Obviously, this is a sample, and it's my name twice. This is where you would insert your contract. So you would insert your contract into this remove this and put your contract in there whenever you're giving it to the title company. This is your authorization to release loan information. And then this is a reminder that this next page is left blank on purpose for reasons that Roger explained. In case if the loan is sold to another bank in the future, you want to make sure that you leave this blank because they may have a new loan number and a new bank name and address, but you still want you want to leave it blank as far as a date. So we want to make sure that they leave all this blank and that they just simply sign right here. And that's it. Then if you want to create one with the contract, you just go in and push the other button. And there it is. And then we have our letter of understanding. We have our contract, which has our total, plus C subject to addendum. It has our stove, microwave, and dishwasher, our closing date, who's paying for everything, what's our inspection period, who's paying for the deed, who's paying for the title policy, and who's paying for all the other closing costs, and when it was, how long it's in effect for. Everything that changes is in bold for you to be sure to look over. But remember, if you leave a field blank, it's going to have a blank. You're not even going to see a blank. It's just literally going to be a space. You won't even realize anything's missing. And place for the seller to sign and the buyer to sign, and date. And then it also has, you'll notice there, it has the buyer's phone number and email address, and it has the seller's phone number and email address, and the buyer's phone number and email address. Authorization to release loan information, again, all filled out. They just sign, and then here's a blank one for you to keep in the future. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, you'll want to make sure that if you ever have to use the blank one, that you make a copy so that you always have a blank one for future use. All right, that's that. And let's see what we have over here. Then we're going to go to creating the title company documents. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and start a new one.